chased her clothes.
It's going. It's smaller.
It's today the 23rd in. It's been
I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good.
No, that's kids.
You're good.
I've read where the young girl was burned.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's good legacy.
Well,
And thank you for that.
yeah, they're gonna have the mock trial.
Yeah, but they've been having fun. They were out like all day today.
Mock trial tomorrow.
Yeah. That's right. Smaller groups. They didn't build these.
I've got that on the itinerary. I got that on the itinerary at the bottom. I just came over it online. Yeah, I have it written.
You guys are live.
Okay.
Thank goodness. If you told me something else, I'd be worried. You guys are dead.
Yes, sign it. That's for, you know, that stuff that was approved for Butch for the AT&T and all that. This is for the leasing company and paper act. Sign that. This is, Butch needs to sign it for the, we've already approved it. This is already approved.
I said, look, Corey's protege.
Quieter and then talking.
Got to put it back up. Okay, we'll call the June 22nd, 2022 Commissioners meeting to order. If you would all stand for the pledge and a prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, we ask you to be with our country, We ask you to have all those people that are hurting during this time to turn to you. We ask you to bless this county and those here tonight, and we ask that all business be conducted according to your will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Have the commissioners had the opportunity to read the minutes of the last meeting?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Is it hot in here? You want, if we turn the air on, will you be able to hear? Okay. Steve's going to do it. Thank you, Steve. Okay. Have the commissioners had the opportunity to review the claims?
Make a motion to accept the claims as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Have the commissioners had the opportunity to review payroll?
Make a motion to accept payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Steve. So we have 3 reports here. We have the Weights and Measures monthly report, the Treasurer's monthly report, and the Clerk's monthly report. Have everybody had the opportunity to review?
I make a motion to accept the reports as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. We have an affidavit for payment for food and beverage for $25,000. This is for, sorry, I'm looking. I'm trying to see which food and beverage it's for. Yeah, Henry County 200 for the 529 Promise, Indiana for $25,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger. I can't say your name tonight. I know. Second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. We have another food and beverage for the Saddle Club, Henry County Saddle Club for $12,690. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger. Still can't say your name. Steve. Second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. I don't have the one for, I think it's in, I do, it's under tab 10, the Wilbur Wright birthplace for $9,567.03. It's under tab 10 if you want to look at it in. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I'm just going to do it this way. We have a motion by Steve Dellinger, second by Ed Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Penny. Oh, there you go.
Thanks for giving me
Oh.
just a couple minutes to go over. Thank you.
There we go.
Thanks for giving me a couple minutes to go over this email that I forwarded to you guys earlier this week, and it's with CGI Communications. It's hard to read, it's small print, and it was signed 3 of 19 by Commissioner Kim Cronk at the time, and it had been a carryover from Commissioner Butch Baker to do a video project, which the video's on the website currently. It's one with Carrie Barrett's face. So it is a really great, high-quality video. But as we move through the process, I mean, they're very professional. But what we found out is that their advertising, I mean, like, nobody that was sitting at the table had a hand anymore in doing anything about it. And so Kim passed the baton to me. I took it, and then Kim passed away shortly afterwards. And as I said in an email, Ed Tarantino came over and sat with me blindly on a phone call, and you didn't know anything, and I didn't either. So we got the project done, and it was a great video, but the advertising was fairly expensive. And I had numerous people tell me that, but they were glad to be a part of the video. It's just that then Monday, when I was off, one of the people that advertised called and said, hey, I got a phone call from a 317 number that said, Penny York wanted me to call you, which that's never been the case. And so that's why I sent you an email. We don't feel like it's something that we need to do anymore with a company that takes a fair amount of money from our community. And like I said, everyone was pleased with it. It just was something that maybe you do one time and then you go, I don't think I'm going to do that again. And that's what this person said to me. So anyway, I hadn't opened up my email yet that day because I was off. And so I opened up my email, and I had an email from someone I'd never heard of with CGI and said, hey, we're just calling your customers and re-upping what we've been doing in your community. And so that's when I stopped and sent you an email and said, I don't really think it's anything that we want to be a part of again. So that is my question to you. I need to be able to respond appropriately and say whether you guys love it and you want them in our community. Nobody from Rochester, New York ever comes here. People from Indy, a marketing company, are calling people and, you know, using my name. I've only heard of one at this point in time, but that email came to me right before they called someone that called me. So with that said, you have the video for 3 years, and we've had it for that. And it has been a good high-quality video. A girl from a marketing company was on the email chain with me, and she said, just wanted to put this out there. I saw that email, and I want you to know that we can probably get that done for a lot less just here locally in our community. Because when they came and did the video, a guy came from Indy, and we got great shots. We went out on the trail on a Saturday and a Sunday, and they did everything they said they would, edited it. It's not that they don't do quality work. It's just about the expense of the advertising. And I mean like $5,000 or $6,000 is what some people have paid to be flashed on the screen. So I will leave that up to you, and I will happily, my contact there is Kevin Riley, and I have not emailed him because I'm waiting for this meeting to see what you guys think.
Okay. I think if we can get it done, always want to use local when we can, and if we can get it done locally cheaper, it makes sense to me to move forward with whoever locally and not use this particular company. Although the video is a high-quality video.
It is
It's a
very
nice
high
video.
quality, and I know Ed
It is
expressed his opinion, like, you know, maybe that's something that we'd want to do is kind of stop the progress, because we don't pay a dime, but we're signed by contract. And at this point, Kim was not pleased to do it, but like it had already been decided. Although I know he signed this contract, I felt like it was under duress, because we tried to cancel it and couldn't really get the job done.
Especially at this time, I think $5,000 is a whole lot for a lot of businesses. And one thing I think we could consider also, I think it'd be a lot cheaper, but I think even if we made another video, we could have tiers. And the lowest tier, you get like 3 seconds, like mom and dad standing in front of the family business. It shows up for 3 seconds and it's gone. And the higher tiers, and all of them would probably be way cheaper than $5,000. And then if you wanted to say something about your business and get 10 seconds or whatever, you know, it would cost more. But that would allow way more businesses to participate.
And so I just would want to offer, like, I'm not a video production person. I don't know anything about it. So I don't know how the cost will be dealt with. Christy Regal, who does advertising for us and our Facebook girl and all that, she said, I think we can work it out. So I just want to say, I don't exactly know all the details about how it would work. I don't know who would be in charge. I just know that we have like 5 After 5 Productions that's here locally. And I don't know, did you guys see a little 30-second video of something that Christy Regal, they coordinated? I thought I saw your names on an email. Maybe not. Did you see it?
Oh, yes, just, Corey just sent it. Corey just sent it.
That's
Yes.
exactly right.
Yes,
And
Corey just sent
so ours was longer than that. And so I don't know if somebody on the front end is going to have to foot the costs. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's us. I just know before, it was like we provided the people in the script. They decided what to say. We showed pictures. That was it. So
I think we could get a very good product, locally made. I say that because I have experience. I made a short video, put it on Facebook when I was running for this seat. Came out great. I really look great. A lot of people called and said how great I look. And I'm a complete amateur, so I think if we pay a little money, we could really get a good product.
well, I think that's probably true. And I thought Carrie Barrett was a pro
Yeah, she
on
did
that.
very
She
well.
looked great. She was perfect for the part. And she probably would be another perfect one besides you for the part.
Carrie will come in a distant second to,
Yeah. And she doesn't probably charge quite as much. Like,
as much as Ed does. So do I have a motion to discontinue?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we do not renew the contract of, what is it, CGI?
uh-huh.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tarantino, second by Mr. Dellinger. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion
Thank
carries
you.
3-0.
Thank you. I'll keep you posted on.
Aye. Thank you. Chambers not here. Frost and Barrett's not here, but I will bring up, I was going to bring this up with Carrie and Scott. So with the opening of the previous time capsule and the condition that the box was in when the vault was removed, they are delaying the burying of the new time capsule until we can find a better location. So we were approached to find something here in the courthouse. We were looking at, and I know most people won't know, but there was an old safe vault that you can access from the stairwell. And then there is in the treasurer's office, an old antique safe. And we've been looking about moving that antique safe out of the treasurer's office and placing it underneath the stairwell here and using that as the time capsule with a plaque. Combination, it'll be locked. Combination will go with all of the documentation because very few of us will be here in 50 years. I don't think any of us will be here in 50 years. So we worked to make sure that we could get it out of the building or out of the room and into that location. We have found a company that will move it. They come from Dayton for $500. They'll be able to move it actually a week from this Saturday if we so approve doing that. I did discuss with Joel if we would need to have if we should have some sort of agreement between the county and the Historical Society or whoever, again, because we're not going to be here in 50 years. He said that we could put together something. I don't know that we need to have that today.
I don't think so. I think just at some point prior to when they place the new
Place it.
capsule in, and I don't envision anything too elaborate.
Right, just so we know.
Something that kind of outlines what you
Yeah.
discussed.
Yeah. So, discussion on moving that safe. Any thoughts? I don't know that, I mean, that's more administrative. I don't know that we need to vote on it, but just to let everybody know that's, and again, as long as everybody else on the bicentennial, I think they're all okay with doing that. And it would get that, I don't know if you've seen it, but it is a big, beautiful, heavy, safe, antique. It would be nice to display that out for the public to see. So they're not here, but we were going to discuss that tonight. Thoughts? Any thoughts?
I just think it's a great idea, yeah. And the safe actually is very interesting to look at.
It is.
I don't know how old it is exactly, but it's probably, 100 years old?
I would venture a guess.
And if it would be there, anybody who walked in the courthouse would see it.
Okay.
We're going to actually put some sort of
Plaque.
marker,
Yeah,
plaque, or whatever
yeah,
with
there'll
it,
be a
certifying
marker or
those.
some sort of
Okay.
a marker noting that that is the time capsule to be opened. And I'm sure that because we do have the monument that was donated that's down, hasn't been put into place, that monument will be put into place with, I don't know, maybe we have a tube that says, it's not here, go to the courthouse. I don't know. Yeah. So, and since Carrie and Scott aren't here, also, if anybody hasn't signed up and wants to sign up for the world record, Guinness Book of World Records knockout event, they need 701 people. That is this Saturday, I believe at 1 o'clock. So if you want to be a part of a world record attempt, you don't have to be good at basketball. Steve, didn't you play basketball in high school? Have you signed up? No, for the knockout world record. Signed up? Have you signed up for the world record attempt? Not yet. I'll be there. I'll make a note about it. I just remember seeing a picture of you in the yearbook when you were playing basketball. Okay, so that's been a couple years ago. Okay, next. So I received recognition for the coroner for him supporting the tissue donation and for his partnership with the Indiana Donor Network in 2021. Your commitment to our process allow Hoosiers to become donor heroes, saving and healing thousands of lives across the country. So, Stacy, thank you for all your work with that. For your donor, thank you very much for that. Todd.
Am I on?
Yep.
So thank you. I'm Todd Hyday. I'm here on behalf of the Henry County GOP Club, which is an auxiliary group of the Henry County Republican Party. And part of that group's responsibility is to help the party raise money. And every year we do an annual brat luncheon. This year we'd like to use the courthouse lawn again for that on Friday, August the 26th. The group usually sets up Thursday evening after business hours, and then we have our luncheon between 11 and 1, and then tear down immediately after that. So we're usually gone and out by 2:30, 3 o'clock time frame. So we're asking the commissioners permission to do that again this year for 2022.
Go ahead.
I make the motion, we allow that to happen.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Angela's not here. Stacy, do you have anything? I don't think you heard me. Stacy, you have anything?
Sorry about that, I was a little distracted. Thank you for mentioning that recognition from the Donors Bank. There was just a couple things that I just wanted to let you all know. We went to the Coroners Conference last week, Brian Clark and I did, and some of the things that they covered was asphyxiation deaths and aquatic deaths and you know what to look for and things like that. But one of the training topics that was covered was mass fatality, and that was by the Marion County Coroner's Office. And they first started out by saying that if you don't have a plan, then you're planning for failure. We do have a plan, but it's been, even if, I've not been a part of it, but tabletop exercises are a good way for everybody to kind of get together and kind of learn what each responsibility of each office is. And I think the way that Marion County pretty much explained it is that they were kind of tripping on each other. because the folks that didn't show up to the tabletop exercises were showing up at the scene of the FedEx shooting. I think I was in 2021 or something in that, 9 people. They had a reunification place for the families. They just off the top of their head said, let's take them over here. Well, then they later found out that they had to move the families to another location. The media had all type of access to the families, taking pictures, putting them on online and in the paper, and folks don't want to be, involved in that during this, during a traumatic time like this. We live in a world now that we don't know what could happen. We don't know what's in a person's mind to do the things that they do, but it's being done. And if we ever fall to that category of it won't happen here, then we're sadly misjudging, what could happen. Anderson, Madison County, Pendleton, they didn't expect to have an active shooter that shot up an officer and shot somebody else. But anyway, they didn't think that they would have one, in the town of Pendleton, but they did. So I think it's best, and this is just a suggestion from me, I think it's just best that we all kind of actually come together with a plan or with an idea if something like that was to happen. And I'm not talking just active shooter. I'm talking anything that happened on an interstate. If we have a bus that's carrying, if we have a charter bus that's carrying, 50, 60 people, and, then we have a potential of 50, 60 deaths. The same way if a plane was to fall out of the sky. Henry County is still the circling pattern for Indianapolis Airport. So if we had anything of that nature, and we got major highways and flowing through, tornadoes, weather-related, anything, fire, anything that would cause a mass casualty, we'd only be benefiting the families, the victims, our community, if everybody was to work together and know what each other's responsibilities are, during these type of things. And the best that I know right now of doing that and accomplishing that is to do tabletop exercises, to sit down and say, this is what we have, and even sit down if we have to with schools and get an idea, because the coroner's office has a responsibility, law enforcement has a responsibility, EMA has a responsibility, medics, EMS, firefighters, they all have different responsibilities and play different roles in these situations. So it's best that we kind of jump on the train of being proactive and knowing if we do have something like this that happens, then, at least we'll have a good idea of where we're going to take families, how we're going to identify what investigation that needs to be done, whether it be hazardous materials or fire, arson, or whether it be a criminal with law enforcement involved. So that was one of the interesting topics that they brought up at the conference, was just being prepared. And Marion County being one of the largest counties in our state, and only about 50 miles away from here, they've had several mass shootings. So for them to be able to put that on and have an idea that their community leaders didn't come together and they didn't participate in the tabletop exercises, and thinking it's not going to happen here. I just don't want us to get in that mindset of we're Henry County, it won't happen here, because it very well could. At any time of the day, any time of the night, it could happen here. So, and plus we've got people that are protesting in churches, not locally, but they're protesting in churches and things now. So you just don't know what's in a person's mind of what they have in their mind or on their mind. So I'm just saying, as a community, as a county, I really think that we should have some exercise, some training and things like that to make sure that we know what we're doing when we get that call. So, and that's one of the reasons why I was looking at the rec yard and at the jail, is because we would have the capabilities of having the coolers and also having the space that's in a secured environment that, that nobody could get into. And then plus on top of that, if we ever have another pandemic, and I know I've told you this before, but I've already contracted a 53-foot semi truck trailer that runs off diesel that we can use instead of having to buy or to rent a portable morgue like we did a couple of years ago. And that save about short of $3,000 a month for the rental, for the lease of that. So with that, we have to be proactive in our planning and handling these situations. So I'm just suggesting it to the county commissioners, and maybe we can all have a joint effort of getting everybody involved to do this kind of planning. So just a thought.
My guess is that comes under the purview of emergency management. We'll have to, I haven't talked to Don Showalter about it, but my guess is all of that comes under the,
Yeah, and I talked to Don, but yeah, he's all for any type of training that we can possibly do, but I'm just, in case something ever happens.
Absolutely.
So,
You need to be prepared.
yep, that's
Great.
it.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Joe? No, we got visual aids.
Good evening. First, I want to drop this with you. This is a map of the bridges in the county. This is based on the inspection that was, field work that was done last year by SJCA. So you can have it to review and look at, and if you want to know where a bridge is, all you have to do is look here and you can figure it out.
The writing's awful small. Did you provide a magnifying glass, Perry? Yeah.
I'm just glad Perry didn't color all over it.
Next item, we've been having some trouble. Well, annual bids, we took bids for dump truck rental, okay? And with the price of fuel going up, the companies that bid it are having trouble sending us trucks. They're paid by the hour, okay? And the fuel prices, went through the ceiling. So they're reluctant to send us trucks because they're losing money. So I'd call Joel and ask what we can do about it. And he said there's a way that we can add to that to compensate for the fuel, additional fuel charges. So I got all three of them to give me a price. One give me a price, and I called it, and I did some checking, some numbers, and it's reasonable. He's asking for $20 an hour. So I called the remaining, or three of the remaining ones, and asked them if $20 will be enough. And they said, yes, that will work for them. So what I'm asking this evening is if there's any way we can add $20 to their hourly rate to make up for that fuel that they're having to spend.
So the original agreements, were those all by hourly rates as well? They weren't,
All by
it
hour.
was all done by the hour?
Yeah, all by the hour.
Can we amend it that way?
Yes, you can. It'd be similar to a change order. I mean, with any
Okay.
type of project. I mean, this obviously has some situations that were unforeseen at the time that the bids came in. So I think legally speaking, you can do it. You just have to approve to authorize it that when you utilize that particular service, that it be at the new rate as opposed to the original rate.
Do we anticipate others doing the same thing? Other bids that we've received for the highway department coming
The-
back and saying, oops?
No,
Oops, but with the inflation, with rising costs, that, hey,
I've not received anything. The only one, of course, asphalt varies.
right,
Both liquid and hot mix asphalt varies with the price of the the asphalt, liquid asphalt. So, you know, as you know, they keep going up and up and up. But metal culverts is another one that I think the price has increased on metal, but I have not received one thing from those people asking about any increase or anything. The bid was supposed to be good for the year, and that's in the specifications, okay? So, and I've not heard a word about any increases. So I don't expect to see any, hopefully.
So do we need to list specifically the four, did you say there's four of them that have
Yeah,
raised?
4.
Do we need to specifically list them in the motion?
It probably would be, make it more clear for the record to
Okay.
do that.
Do you have a list of those, Joe? The four companies? He said that we would need to list the four in the motion to make it more clear. Okay. Thank you. Do I have a motion on the increased hourly rate for the dump truck rental for Pritchett, CGS Services Incorporated, Greensboro Sand and Gravel, and Swoveland Excavating Incorporated?
I make a motion reluctantly that we accept this, because it just means if we take money to pay more of this, we're gonna get less work done, right?
Well, I'm hoping that, hopefully, we're not going to need as much, but, you know, if you want to get so many tons down a day and get things accomplished, sometimes you need help.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0. While are you done with your stuff?
Yes.
Okay, Jeff, you want to come on up? So we're talking about the culverts for the Wilburite trails.
Yes.
So I have a couple of questions. I know you said you've got them, so I have a couple of questions. So has the work for the Wilburite trails been put out to bid yet?
No,
No, it hasn't. Okay.
no, because we're just now doing surveying, and then we will be doing design and engineering after that. What I'm trying to do, as he alluded to, is that the cost keeps going up, and I'm trying to get the best price for these culverts. The 2 culverts that are part of the next level trails would be installed just north of County Road 450 North on the east side of Moreland. The other 2, which that would be a 48-inch and an 18-inch, because there's 2 drains right there that are open, and we need to go over them with the project. We're not going to have our design and engineering done until the end of July. I know these costs are going to keep going up, and I'm trying to, Joe's got a good price, county works with us, we can save some money with the project. The other 2 culverts are just north of 300 North on county property with the trail corridor out by Messick, east of Messick Road and north of 300. And there's a grass waterway that drains into the old railroad 48-inch concrete culvert. And we need to put the trail right in front of that because it's all raised up and brush and trees, and we can be out here in the open area. And so that would take 2 24-inch culverts, lay them in there, and then we can put the trail right there. And at this point, this is rustic, and I do have 2 sets. You know, we have the next level funding for the first 2 culverts, and then we have some additional funding, grants that we received to help with clearing and getting that part of the trail by Messick open.
So two of them are under the next level grants, and then two
Yes.
of them are for from different funds?
Yes. And we have the money now to be able to buy these, and then we would get them installed.
Is this permissible to do it this way under the next level grants?
Uh-huh, yeah. It wouldn't be under NDOT, but it's okay with Next Level Trails through DNR because we're utilizing, it's all part of the project. It was in the project whenever we submitted our application. They give us leeway to be able to use volunteers as well as do some of the work that needs to be done beforehand, such as the clearing. We went out with volunteers out east of Moreland, and we've cleared the trail. It was full of brush, down trees, many down trees, and 3, 4, 5, 6 guys have been out there back in January, February, March timeframe, and working to get that all cleared up. And we're able to use that as match their time.
So you're saying if this was an NDOT grant, it would not be permissible, but
Right.
because it's a next level
Yes.
trails grant, it is permissible?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, were you getting ready to say something? Oh, okay. And then the installation will be covered under the next level
Yes,
grant?
right.
Okay, those are the questions that I have. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
When you're doing this, it's my understanding somewhere along in here, and Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a county tile somewhere in with these culverts that may come in conjunction. I hate to see you put culverts in and then we have to tear them out. So if you could coordinate that with Steve's office.
Right.
To make sure we're not doing it over or tearing your culverts back out, I would greatly appreciate the fact that you work with him to make sure that's.
Right, yeah, no doubt. On all 4 of them. The 2 are right there together. They're outside the Hoffman Ditch assessment area, just to the south of there. And the other 2 are within the Sears drain, I believe it is. So, Steve and I have talked back when that it would be okay to install those. And so we'll just go out there and I'll show him exactly what we're doing.
Steve, you,
Yeah. They,
oh,
well, Joe looked at the one there just north of Messick or east of Messick and north and said, well, there's a 48-inch culvert. We need to be putting in 2 24s to match it. So there's the same volume going through that. So there isn't any backup. The one just east of Moreland is in the road at 450. It's a 48-inch culvert. We're doing the same size as that. The culvert that we're adding, that's the 18, there's nothing in there now. And they just dug a trench to drain water from the north to the drain that Swoveland put in years ago, just to alleviate some of that surface water that's sitting in that woods. So we're trying to make it better than what it is now.
right.
Well, if there are other tile underneath the railroad corridor, but I didn't put any money in the project to have those evaluated because they're still operating. They're the older ones that the railroad. which ones are,
This is a pretty, I mean, because it's like a $1.6 million project.
it's a what?
Like, you got a 1.6, is it
It's almost 2 million,
almost $2 million project?
right.
I don't think they've even put out the bid yet.
Yeah, we're not.
Oh, okay, in the consideration in the bid. So is your concern that these culverts that are being suggested? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. This is first I heard about this. I have no idea which ones he's talking about. But I know there are tiles that are underneath the corridor that were put in back when the railroad put them in. They could have been updated since then. I don't know that at all.
They haven't been up, no, they,
There are other tile that Craig put in himself to go across the corridor between 450 and the Pike. Right. Right. Yeah, and I don't know.
Jeff,
I don't know where those are, but I know we're talking about two different things, but I can appreciate we can go out there and take a look at these and, yeah? Right. Yeah. So, there's no
You're
problem.
just trying to establish whether or not you can buy these through the county, try to save some money, right? We can figure the other things out later. We can't answer those questions.
We've got time to evaluate those.
Is that okay with you, Joe? So I would make a motion that the Trails program be allowed to buy the culverts through our highway department.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Tarantino, second by Commissioner Dellinger. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have one more item. We are in the process, Healthy Communities, of putting together a project. Now that the Bridge North condo project has started, they have already taken up some of the Wilburite Trail out by the Y in 3 different sections. So that part of the trail is closed and will be for up to 4 months until we do a realignment and shift it, because they're putting in a new street and all that. So we're not able to use the parking area at the Y for the trail users. So we're looking at, and we've already got a quote, but we're looking at putting in 5 additional spaces out at State Road 103 and 150 North where that trailhead is. So there's more capacity for people to be able to go out there and park and use the trail both ways, go back towards the Y and then also go on east along 150 and up Hillsborough. We were considering this before, and now that they've closed this last Thursday for liability reasons, safety reasons for all, at which we support this, then we're looking to do that. So I just wanted to tell you that, hey, we're going to do this to try to help with this problem that we have with what's going on with the construction and everything. So we're going to get a couple grants, and we have some money ourselves, and we've already got a quote from a local company here that does that kind of small work to get this done, and it'll be less than $10,000, and we can add 5 spaces to that parking area. So we've already notified DNR, and we're looking to try to get this done middle part of July, towards the latter part of July, just so you would know. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve, do you have anything? No. Yes, absolutely. I do have a question for you. Did you speak with, regarding 8499 Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, because they're wanting to go across the rail bed that we own. Okay. Do you have any issues with? Okay, if we want to, once he do it, yes, okay. Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to get your, okay. We own the railroad bed, and they're wanting to go across and down that way through the commissioner's property to drain. There's a problem with the tile. Am I understanding that correctly? Yeah. Right. Right. East of Strawn. Well, I'm guessing we probably should let them find the tile first before we. They need to find on their end before we give them permission to go onto ours. Yeah. Okay. Sheriff McCorkle? Yep, we officially have the keys to the, we're gonna have to stop calling it the old jail. Yeah, the old jail. We officially have the keys to the old jail, so. Congratulations, you're out. Yep. Memorial Park. Oh, I thought there were.
I would say the dog show was really good for the first year. That worked out really good.
I thought they were going to talk about the. Okay. Henry County EMS? Nothing. Okay. Yes.
My name is Troy Hirschman. I am the president of the 4-H Association here in Henry County. We had a meeting, 4-H Association meeting last night that we walked through the fair.
Minutes are typed for me, so.
Got it. Is it on now? Yeah. So we did a walkthrough last night to prepare for the fair, as our association meeting has done. We do try to do every June. And so we went through and make sure we turn on the lights and flush the toilets and try to make sure that everything is okay for the kids to come in and do that. And we had a list that we gave to the Memorial Park Secretary this morning of things that we needed to have fixed. And we understand the park board is running on a shoestring budget at this point in time, but there's some safety issues in the barns with electrical outlets that are dry rotting. There's a toilet in the women's bathroom that is leaking. There's some exposed wires in the rabbit barn that I think Mr. Dellinger has seen and walked through with that. And we want to make that aware to the commissioners that we need to get those things fixed for the safety of our 4-H youth. The Fair Week is the week that they get to show what they've been working hard for all year long. And we want to make sure they're safe in doing that. And we're asking you as the commissioners to see if you can help the park board out to get those things fixed. It's important for those kids to be safe. It's important for those kids to have the opportunity to demonstrate and do those things they need to do in their showing of their animals and showing of their projects. So we just want to make you aware of the fact that there are things that need to be fixed out there. We've given a list to the park and try to get those fixed before the fair starts on July 9th.
Do we have any cost estimate?
No, we just did the walkthrough last night to present that to the park folks.
I was going to say, I guess my frustration lies with the fact that we wait till this close and then us trying to get this accomplished. And some of these things have been occurring for several years. And once the fair's over, it gets put on the back burner. Then we wait till the fair gets ready to start, and then we get avalanched with it trying to get stuff fixed.
And I understand.
So I'm a little frustrated with that.
Yeah, and I understand that. And this is my first year as being an association president, and that's one of the things that I've recognized, that we need to do a better job of trying to communicate those things earlier to the people that need to get it done. And listen, we all want to hopefully someday go off to a newer and better place. But right now, this is what we've got. And we have to do our efforts to make sure that those kids have those opportunities and be safe in doing those opportunities. And I understand that. And that's one of the things I've brought up already, that we need to do a better job of getting this information earlier to the powers that be so they can have time to fix those things and do those things. And we will do that next year, I can promise you that. Because let's face it, we're going to be there next year. At least from the 4-H show standpoint in doing that. And we want to be good stewards of not only what we're doing for the 4-H youth, but the places that we're using and how we're doing things for everyone. And, you know, and the thing is, too, it concerns me a little bit, but my son's out at sheriff camp right now. They're utilizing those facilities. I was a little taken back a little bit by some of the stuff that we found last night, too. There's a row of lights in the hog barns that are not working that we need to have fixed, whether that's an electrical problem, a light bulb problem. I'm not sure what that is, but we just need those things investigated a little bit.
Didn't we just appropriate art money to the park? There was the remainder.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
it was 100 and, well, it was I think that was food and beverage, but there was art money given to the park.
And the thing is, the park board knew last year, and Jesse will vouch for it, the park board knew last year that there was this problem. My nephew was the one that got shot. My son-in-law, Jesse, and another guy were the ones that went out there in their time and tried to fix it. The park board was notified last year this was a problem. So the park board knew all along, not until just now. The park board knew last year during the Boys Fair this happened.
They had Beats Electric out there working on it, the park board did, the second we found out they were getting shocked. And we've talked about this numerous times. And who is supposed to be over the barns? Because I know you guys can.
The 4-H Association has historically taken care of all the maintenance on those barns. From the time I was in 4-H, which was the 90s.
I don't know. I can't tell you.
When they were brand new.
I don't know.
So I went today and I told them we would fix it, we would do it, and they said, no, you guys can't touch it. The lady in the park, the secretary, she said, you guys are not allowed to touch it. We talked to the board and Bellinger knew the issues, and he was, did you go to the board when you done the walkthrough with JR?
Stuff that's going on. It has gone on, and it should still be going on.
Well, instead of saying that nobody can do it, then, you know, I mean, I don't want to get back into a he said, she said. We need to solve a problem.
That's why I'm worried about the kids.
I was going to say, this is the big issue, is whether or not we have a safe 4-H fair. And this was
Exactly.
something that when I met out there with the Purdue Extension Office and JR and them out there, I told them, you're down to two choices. You either don't have a 4-H fair or you fix the projects that you have going out there because you don't have another facility. And this comes down to an argument going back and forth about the unfinished facility that everybody's arguing over. And I'm over it. So this is where we're at.
Yeah.
You're either going to have, somebody needs to figure out who's going to fix it, because we're all on a shoestring budget. And if we don't pitch in together and try to get this done, then there will be no 4-H fair. That's where you're at.
Right.
So
And I think we understand that. And I don't think, the thing is that the things that have happened in the things that Jesse just talked about, I mean, if we had 4 things that we had to have fixed, I mean, there's some dry rotted electrical outlets in the barns. Like I said, the row of lights in the hog barn. There's a light fixture that's barely, the transition between the show barn and the barn, there's a light fixture that's barely lit up. It's dark in there. Like I said, the toilet in the women's restroom's leaking. If those 4 things got fixed before the fair, we'll work on the other things that we need to work on in order to have a fair. And that's what we can't, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure those kids have that opportunity to do that. I don't think anybody in this room wants that. No, nobody does. But we got what we got, and if we can get those things fixed, then that would be helpful.
Unfortunately, the issue has become, everybody has become tribal.
This is a
And we need to
list
stop
that
being
I
tribal.
got from the
I just want it fixed. I just want the 4-H fair to move on. And
usually do.
correct.
And this is.
Just want it fixed. I don't want anybody saying, no, you can't, or
I was
no,
aware of
you
the-
can't, or this is mine, and
Park board meeting Monday night.
That's what I'm saying, and
Yes,
that's where
sir.
we're at, is trying to get things done right. And the sad thing is,
Okay.
every time I'm out there talking to somebody, I get a different answer or response from whoever it is that's involved on what they will and won't do. And that's the problem I have, is somebody says, goes, the only thing I knew about is Rabbit Barn, there's an extra ground cable or something that needs to be removed.
There was the walk tracks were shocking kids last
Yes.
year when the walk was turned on. And they had these out, he didn't figure it out, so we figured the
So I was out there with Heath Hudnut the other day, and that's what we determined, there was a ground line. Yes. So,
replace some outlets. So I went to her and asked if it was okay if we replaced the outlets on our own. I'm the chairman of the swine board. I was just trying to get some outlets fixed to make sure the kids don't get shocked when they're plugging their fans into the pit. And she told me not to touch it because the commissioners meeting, we had zero money. We're not allowed to do anything. And she said, we was told last year to not touch this one.
who told her last year to not touch those barns?
The lady that was running the park. The superintendent. She said, we have not touched those barns, we were told not to touch those barns. I'm doing this or that, I don't know what. Don't
Okay.
I want the outlets fixed so the kids don't get hurt.
go ahead, Steve.
Hey, can I ask you, if we take the minutes from
They can't hear you, Steve.
Yeah.
Can you come down here?
because we take the minutes from the recording.
After hearing all this, I think the best thing to do is we've got several electricians qualified in this county to donate time.
Yeah.
Plumbers
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
I'll go to master electrician, I'll call him tonight or tomorrow, and I'll see if he donates his time to
Oh,
go out and get it to where they can do this. If he will, would you accept that? He'll do it.
Absolutely.
He's a master electrician. You can't get any better than that in the county.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
I'll-
what I want to say is, and sitting here, and this has been going on for months, this whole tribal park versus 4-H,
it's
and
horrible.
no, you can't, and you must, and we won't, and you shall, has got to stop. Everybody has to work together. I have seen it everywhere, and I am just over it to absolute no end.
At our association meeting last night, we appropriated $500. We'll pay for it, for the up. You know, if we can get a licensed electrician, we'll pay for the outlets, the lights. We're not asking for that. We just want to be able to do it. And
The thing is, I'm not going to get in the middle of that, but I will say you're right, but I just would help to try to do
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. I
Because I
appreciate
think you
that,
can get some donation time to some of this stuff, you know, like what they've got. So that's all I was going to suggest.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
So I'm saying, because at the end of the day, we want what you guys want. We want to
I think everybody wants the
everybody
same
wants the
thing.
same 4-H.
And even, I will say this, I mean, Commissioner Plummer, I'm with you on that. I'm not about fighting with people. I'm about collaborating and partnering with people. Our association this year, for the first time, put a float in the parade in Middletown, Memorial Day Parade. We're trying to reach out. We're trying to reach out and do things in the community that they know that we want to partner with them for the exposure for 4-H and know that we're there to help their youth, you know, in this community. And we want that youth to come back to this community and be leaders in this community. And that's, I'm like you, I'm beyond this. We're going to do what's best for the kids. We're going to figure out ways. We're going to solve problems. we're going to do those
Is
things.
is there any reason why they can't go out and fix what needs to be fixed at that barn that they want fixed? Okay. I'm not saying who said what, but if somebody is at the park is telling them, no, they can't,
Historically, the maintenance has been done by,
well, and we'll go back and check that out, but I'm just saying, if somebody at the park is telling them, no, that they can't go out there, are you guys okay with they going out there?
until they came to the park board.
Just tell us that they're going to be there.
Oh, I don't think they have a problem with that.
Hey, Bobby.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
the past, the problem has been insurance. If you have the master electrician come, he has insurance.
Right.
If Jesse and them go do it,
I got you.
Yeah.
they don't have insurance coverage. That's been in the past is why they haven't
Why they
wanted
ha-
that to do that was
Correct.
for insurance purposes.
Absolutely, I understand that. So,
Now, if that's still the reason, I guess that was a different set of commissioners. That's up to you guys. But it was insurance purposes in the past.
okay.
So I don't
Sure.
know now.
Probably the same thing. You would
Probably be the
suggest.
same.
Okay. So if we can get the master electrician to donate his time or even charge you. Yeah,
Come back on the county.
correct.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay. So
Okay.
I'll get with Steve tomorrow, or somebody will get with Steve tomorrow. We will get this all lined up. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, owner-occupied rehab program. Yes, ma'am? Oh, hang on a second. Jesse, stay up here. What?
They say they're not doing anything. My question is when it starts. In the past, for the restrooms and everything, the park's always supplied all the supplies in them. If they're not helping, are they not supplying those supplies this year?
I'm sorry, Steve, I can't hear you with your
You have to come up
mask.
to the mic. Yeah, we can't hear you.
She said she would supply.
Okay. I just needed to make sure.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Okay. Okay, okay,
Just needed to make sure if it
Okay.
started.
okay. All right, thank you. So we are on to the owner-occupied rehab program. We have 1, 2, 3 applicants. Do I have a motion to accept these applications into the owner rehab program? They are meeting actually with the participants next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, I believe, here in the courtroom to go over everything with the packet. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we accept and approve this as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. We also have a letter of engagement for Baker Tilly for the food and beverage bond. I believe they are presenting this information for the food and beverage bond tomorrow at the council meeting. Do I have a motion to accept this letter of engagement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0. I do have a copy of the public defender contract for the indigent criminal representations for the public defender's office. This was signed and approved by the judge in Circuit Court 2 and judge in Circuit Court 3. Do we have to accept this, Joel, or is this just informational only? Okay. So we'll move on with that. So with the resignation of Don Showalter, that position has become open. We do have an EMA board which consists of, I think, 75 people. Tim Welch has expressed interest and has put in all of his information. However, it was brought to my attention by a couple people that we typically, before we appoint to a board or a director, we open it up to public for other people to apply instead of just doing a direct appoint. So do I have a motion to open this up for publication? I would say for no more than 2 weeks, to allow other people to apply for this position.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This was the ENB. We received a notice from ENB Paving that as of July 20, and this is just informational, 2022, any bids that they put in will have a minimum increase of 4% of anything that'll be completed in 2022. I did talk to Joe Copeland about it, and he said that it does not affect any of the bids that they have been awarded this year. I had Grayson Jocelyn on the itinerary for, he has designed a flag he wanted to present for the county, but he did not appear, don't see him. Also, we received the signed agreement for the annex building that we call the annex building from Andrew McGlory, so that starts the clock. We are going to have a meeting next Tuesday to start coordinating the move of all of our records. So I think, we have 90 days from close. Correct, 90 days from close. Do we have any idea when we're anticipating closing?
Well, now that he's signed it, and we have a copy that obviously you guys can sign, I will go ahead and order the title work. Typically that takes a couple weeks to do, and then we can close probably within 15 to 30 days thereafter.
Okay.
So yeah, it could be we're probably a month out or so.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be all right then. Okay. Also, and Ed brought this to my attention, and if you want to announce it, Ed, you're more than welcome to do so.
There's not too many people to hear it, but I don't know if you put this in the paper yet or not, about the guy who bowled the 900 series. I hope so, because this is something that does not happen. It's like playing golf and hitting 3 holes in one in a row. So yeah, his name was Brian Deck, and he was at the Rose Bowl and bowled 900, and there's only 39 other people who ever did it in the United States. So you ought to have a picture of him.
Yeah.
Because he did something that probably hasn't been done by anyone in Indiana.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I couldn't bowl a 14 in 3 games, let alone 900. And the last thing, and this is just a feel good as well, Newcastle Henry County EMS was awarded a grant of roughly $440,000 from the Indiana, I believe from the Indiana State Department of Health, for their community paramedicine program. So they will be expanding their community paramedicine program. So that's great news as well. Considering we just have a reporter, I don't want to, anybody from the public need to say anything? Nope. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, you do.